Frostback Mountains. Oh, my echo. Sorry about that, guys. But everyone, welcome back. Oops, sorry about the audio hitch. My bad. Oh, what's this? Oh, I almost forgot about this one completely. Hold on. We got a little leveling up to do. I think for Zevran... No, we don't. He comes with his own skills. I might need him later. Anyways, guys, this is the first recording post COVID-19 outbreak. So all the other ones were before that. So yeah, isn't this fun? Alright. Ooh, I'm not used to playing this game. It's been a little while. But I do remember this quest. This little side encounter. Hello, mage. Hello. Oh, I just want to get the elf fruit. Alright, cool. I thought you were wearing a dumb hat. Hello.
Rough travels out here, eh? We even saw Darkspawn on the way in.
Wow, you don't say. Where are you guys going?
We're delivering a message to the Chantry in Denerim. You?
What's the message about?
We saw a blood mage down near the
Oh, this is part of the mages
Tell
collective.
the Chantry about him.
I have to stop you.
I thought you said... Wait. You're serious?
Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, I could deliver that for you.
I suppose that's all right.
It's no big deal.
As long as it gets there. Stay safe.
Thanks. Hey. This one's on me, guys. Have a nice day. So, let's see. Yeah, I've tracked down the adventurers and put a stop to their questionable testimony. Sweet. I did a good thing. Probably. Anyways, let's keep going. We were going to the Frostback Mountains. We're not doing the dwarf. We're not doing the dwarf quest quite yet. We're just stopping by for Sten. Although there is some enemies along the road. I'm also hoping to trigger either dialogue with Sten and Win or Zevran and Win for more of Sten's personal dialogue. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it shall go well. Or perhaps not. I know not how it shall proceed. As we proceed, give me what you need. Uh-oh. This looks familiar.
Be wary. Our time of war. Logain sends his...
Oh. Oh, jeez. No. Alright, your first command is going to be group heal. Your command is going to be... Nope, no. Yeah. Thank you. Did I even pop? I did pop off Mind Blast. She just decided to kill her own people. Who's closest to death? The music's a little loud. I'm sorry. Hold on. It's been a while since I had this recording set up for Dragon Age. It's a little loud. Excuse me. Oh my god, did I not just... Jeez Louises. I forgot how tough this part of the game is. I just showed up here too. Oh no!
This should be easy enough.
I can't revive Sten, so this is a problem. Kill. Alright, she's still frozen. Fresh, never frozen. God, Win, you waste your magic constantly. This was a mistake. This was a mistake immediately. Alright, you heal. Did you kill both of them? You killed both of them. You're a problem child. I have force field not back yet. I don't have anything back yet.
I haven't been this hurt in, well, ever.
Sorry, Zevran.
As you wish. Right.
I'll kill you first. Okay, I killed her first.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
This should be easy enough.
Shall we?
There we go. Oh, that was bad. Sorry, Sten. I wasn't... Honestly, I was barely even paying attention. Like, when the fight broke out, she really messed us up. That's why Fireball's really good. It's a really good spell to start with. I don't know why I thought something was going to be here. Alright. So they didn't have that much on them. This is Orzammar. Or at least the entrance to Orzammar. Orzammar,
All the
Orzammar.
Darkspawn are fleeing the underground, and we are going there.
I mean, there's still a bunch of them there, Stan. To be perfectly honest. let's see. Your dwarves.
I paid a ransom for a trade
Surface
permit.
soaps,
They can't
half
do this.
price.
That's the deserter. We'll talk to him in a little bit. Monies. Actually, you know, let's save and talk to the deserter now. That was bad. That was a tough one. That was a toughie we just had. I didn't like that. Okay. Oh, also this is what injury looks like. So like if we go into Sten's little thing. Open wound. Penalty to nature resistance. That's actually not bad. I don't know if it's a random roll on what injury they get. It's a very D&D thing. Hey, Tornass.
Yes?
Tornass. I'm here on behalf of the irregulars.
Oh? What was this about?
I heard you stole supplies from the guild.
I worried this might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
Just give me the supplies, man. No. Like, dude, be cool about this. They killed that guy. There we go. Working together, solving the problem.
Let's get started.
Now this guy is gonna be dead. So, Zebrin's assassin abilities, which we'll explore later in more detail. Sten, why do you have such terrible defense? I know you're drawing all the aggro, but God. Zebrin's assassin abilities make him very good at killing. Like targeting enemies, marking them for bigger damage, and so on and so forth. A lot more like, it's the part of the rogue that's good at DPS and just taking major hits and debuffing people.
How am I supposed to live with no crafts to sell? I'll be ruined.
I'll be ruined. Hey, Farron.
Step right. Make us breath. Oh,
Is it because we're covered in blood?
and you,
Because I didn't understand if that was the problem.
bit.
Alright. We're looking for a Kunari sword.
Can what? I'm sorry, I don't know what that...
Where is my sword?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Oh my god, just kill him. I think there's a Star Wars reference in this game somewhere where you can threaten to tear off someone's arms. I would give it to him, Farron, if I were you.
I don't have it. I swear by Andraste's...
Honestly, man, it's not worth it.
On the way here.
Who did you sell it to?
A dwarf near Redcliffe. Dwyn, I think his name was.
You know, if you're lying, we're gonna be back.
I'm not, I promise you.
We'll see.
We'll see about that, dirtbag.
I've told you what I can, I swear.
I'd like to actually just shop regularly. I'm just here to shop, man. Calm down. Don't be like that. Don't be like the way you are. This is okay. Oh, it's cold damage. I don't want that. I don't want this gold ring. I got Jesus on my necklace. Oh, cool. I can have all this. Portrait of a goose girl. Who's that girl who's a kind of a goose? Goose. Oh, I can sell all this. Perfect. Must have had this from last time. Fantastic. I love selling junk. Alright. I can trigger someone's dialogue here. It's like right here somewhere. Hold on. It's like here. Here. The trigger's here. It's supposed to be here somewhere.
Stan,
Here it is.
not a name, is it?
Do you always begin conversations this way?
It's your rank, is it not? I have met a few Kunari in Antiva, you know. Not much for conversation, but some of them are quite easy on the eyes.
Those are not Kunari.
No?
Here we go.
They are what then? Very large dwarves with comical accents?
They wear the faces of Kunari, but they are Tal Vashoth, fiends of Saharon. They have abandoned the Qun.
With titles like your own, though. Which makes me curious, what is your name then?
Sten is enough.
But it is not your name.
It is who I am.
Yes. That is very important. So, I'm going to take a second to talk about Sten's character. The Kunari people assign names at birth, but only for the purposes of, like, literally filing. Like, hey, this person was born, this is their name. It's really only for, like, paperwork. That's all it's for. My mic is a little loud. Hold on. I'm just gonna fix it really quick. Is that more loud or less loud? That's more loud. How about that? Okay, I feel a bit better with that. All right. So Sten is not his name. Sten is his job. In Qunari society, you are named according to your job. And I forget what the exact translation for Sten is, but it's a type of warrior, not a commander. There's a different word for that. But it's a rank in the army. And that's what he is. He is Sten. And if Sten gets promoted, he becomes the new name because the Qunari are extremely collectivist. And we also caught wind of Tal Vashoth. Tal Vashoth are the outcasts. They are known as the Grey Ones. No allegiance. They have abandoned the society that is the Qunari. And because Qunari society is so rigid, Tal Vashoth, by definition, have to be those that go against society, those that resist the attempt at society. At least that's what the Qunari believe. Because you have to remember, the Qunari is a very rigid collectivist society. So Tal Vashoth, being not Qunari, but outside that, means very often that because they're so instilled to be raised a certain way, they react very strongly. Think about how, you know how in Star Wars, Anakin was raised to be a Jedi and knew nothing else, and how that's a breeding ground for Dark Jedi by making someone live a chaste life of selflessness. You know how Catholic kids or repressed kids who don't get to live their lives with a certain amount of flexibility or instilled with one way being the right way. That's usually what the Tal Vashoth do, is they become outcasts, and because they don't know how else to live their life, they just lash out and rebel and like murder and kill. Not all of them, but that's typically what the Qunari see them doing, and it's how they view them as that. So we'll talk to Sten about it in a second, but we're going to tell this guy that he's fired.
What can I do for you?
You're fired.
This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
Good day. You've been fired by a smooth criminal. What do you got to do?
You wish to talk to me? Truly.
You live on the surface?
Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up.
So yeah, I mentioned before, but dwarves that go to the surfaces,
Denied a
it's like if you left America and they stripped you of your citizenship.
stone, but they still use the goods we bring.
But you still need you for trade. It's a very short-sighted decision by the dwarves.
My children are grown.
Yeah. How often do you restock?
Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the commons, but I see enough.
Okay.
My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense.
All right. Well, you don't have anything for me then. But yes, lots of things. So let's talk to Sten.
You called.
Oh, well, we should say it before we talk to him, just in case we mess up. We haven't done badly with Sten. But why roll the dice, you know? I mean, I will roll the dice, but, you know, what else?
You called.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
What do you mean about the fiends in Saharon? What was that about? Saharon is the land that he's from. I think it's an island. Very tropical. I think they have bananas.
Ours wear the faces of men.
That's very cryptic.
Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this.
That's not what he's talking about. What did they do? So they're traitors. So he's talking about the different types of antagonists that mankind has. There's man versus nature, man versus wild. No, there's man versus self. This is the Qunari interpretation that the greatest weakness in humanity is humanity itself. It's not that they don't believe in individualism, it's that their general belief system doesn't allow for a lot of individualism to dictate how society works. You can be an individual within your confines. You can be an individual within your assigned role and live a life of joy and happiness and find fulfillment in that. But you have to adhere to societal rules. And you have to do what society tells you in order for society to function, is what they say. And for Sten, who's a member of the army, who doesn't think very hard about all this, he does what he's told and does according to his job. And like he said, he's not a teacher. He just does his job and absorbs all the information that he's been spoon-fed. For him, the greatest weakness is someone that doesn't listen to what their role is. Someone who thinks too much or overly complicates the narrative of benefiting society. So he's saying that the worst thing that could happen, as he's been trained to know, is somebody that goes against the rules so hard that they break away from society and betray each other. So they're traitors?
They are Talvashoth. They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be.
This is where his bias is coming in. So Sten's bias here is very strong, where he's just like he's yelling about people that he's never actually met, or maybe he has. Of course, there are other Qunari that think very poorly of the Talvashoth, which makes sense, right? In a fascist regime, well, I don't know if I would call the Qunari fascists. I don't think I would. Not strictly fascism. I don't think so. No. They're closer to some other type of thing. Not even communism, though. They're not really all about that necessarily, but they have elements of a collectivist society. Let's say that. But yeah, saying that they're gaping holes assumes that they become animals without reason. This is basically like they become uncivilized because they refuse to be a part of our culture. It's very propaganda. It's very much like a propagandist viewpoint. So what exactly is so terrible about them?
There was a village in the mountains of Saharan. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows.
I like his purple eyes.
Always be one person waiting. A foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Good approval. So, let's be honest, that's all we get out of Sten. It's very vague and poorly conveyed. Like...
They have to open the gate. My suppliers will think I cheated them.
It's very poorly conveyed. Like, you're getting a sense that, like, a lot of people get upset later in the series when the fans talk about how Qunari get retconned. Like, there was a retroactive continuity change regarding who they are and what they represent and their types of thinking. But I do agree that Sten as a character there's a lot that's vague about him. There's a lot that he says that's very vague. So he's basically implying that when I ask what did they do that's so bad, it's they murder. They murder and they don't give people closure, and they break society little by little by what they do and who they are. We'll learn more about Talvashoth in the next game, unfortunately. It's much more of a focus in the next two games. Qunari is more of a side plot here. In fact, if you don't even have Sten on your group, you barely learn anything about them. Honestly, probably nothing about them. You might see one or two Qunari NPCs in the entire game. So there's really not a whole lot to uncover there. So his quest has told us to go to Redcliffe, which we're going to go to anyways. Two of them found Denerim, the other can be found from slightly where are there. Companions, here we go. And we're going to go hang out with Flemeth for a second. So we're going to go back to camp to reassemble our crew, because this is a terrible crew. I'm sorry, but they are. They're the worst. Back to camp. We might get a trigger for something, so let's see. So yeah, it's very vague, the Qunari people. I wish I could go more into it, but I would need like some... Oh!
About why I left Orlais.
Why did you lie?
I didn't feel like talking about it then.
What happened to me?
Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
What for?
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
So you were in love with her?
She was a remarkable woman. I cannot fully express the admiration I had for her, or the depth of my affection. I thought I knew her. My devotion to her blinded me to her less than noble attributes. You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
This is part of her DLC story, by the way, too. You get to play essentially what is this part of the story. I'm assuming you had them opened?
My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevarra and Antiva among others. It was treason.
So this is very important. That the game that bards play, where they have espionage and intrigue and drama and backstabbing and murders and spying, it's all insulated. It's all about like high society grandstanding within Orlais. So this is what they do. So spying and all that stuff, it is what bards do. So the question is, isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My
So
life
treason is
abroad
different.
taught me that
Selling out the game to someone else at a different country is kind of like,
plan was not that she was a
you
traitor,
could do it, but
that
eh.
her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh
Yes.
view of such things, as I later discovered.
Yeah, they don't appreciate treason. What do you mean? How did you discover it?
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand, to make me look the traitor.
She betrayed you?
Yes, the Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
How'd you get out?
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
So you came to Ferelden.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
So yeah, you will be safe with me. Your past is going to catch up with you eventually. Is having you here a threat, or thank you for trusting me? Leniana, this is clearly a part of your backstory. You felt very self-conscious about this. But thank you for trusting me with this.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding.
We did it. Hey, Stan. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. All right. So I have a thought. So obviously, if I'm not mistaken, I think that triggers Leniana's personal quest. So we're just triggering all of them. So we're gonna go visit Flemeth, but also what we're gonna do is save the game very quickly, and I think we're gonna escalate to phase 2 of our plans with Morrigan. Phase 2, Civil War edition. We could have it, like I said, we could do a little jealous back and forth. I'm not really interested in doing that. I've explained how to do it before, so we're not really gonna follow that path. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of...
Can you teach me to be a shapeshifter?
If I had the desire...
As you wish, never mind. So what's Morgan's approval level at? It's very high. Let's see here. Leniana's is getting there. Stan's is very high. Alistair's is very low. We'll fix that eventually. Shale's is pretty high. I think Alistair's the lowest, which is crazy. No, Wynn's probably the lowest. Severn's higher than Wynn, though. Alright, so we are going to break things off with Morgan. I like discussing personally.
Camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
May we discuss us?
Discuss away.
Oh. Let's talk about, we never talked about our nights together.
What is there to speak of? Do you wish me to tell you how wonderful you are? Shall I say you are virile and manly?
Oh. I mean, only if you really want to.
I prefer action over words. Why don't you prove it to me? Hmm?
You avoiding the question.
You are determined to be tiresome, are you? What is it then that you wish to know,
We
sir?
could have had an easy opening for the sex, but we didn't. Why are you being so defensive?
Why are you being... Enough.
Oops, sorry, I accidentally post sex.
I have no patience for this sort of blather. If you wish to know something specific, I would prefer you ask it. Otherwise...
Yeah, I'm being really annoying to her. I'm sorry about that.
We're in...
Oh, we didn't lose any points, though.
It is as good a time as any.
Can we discuss us?
Discuss away.
Can we end this?
I'm assuming you are referring to our flirtation. Think nothing more of it. I certainly shall not.
Thank you. Holy cow! That was a big drop. But thankfully... we have the power of gifts on our side. There you go, we only lost 13. Jesus, woman.
I await your command.
Let me ask you something.
So...
Never mind. Alright, well, she took a big hit, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. So, we can now move on with that. We have Friend Zone Morgan. Oh, if you're curious, her romance basically goes, I care too much about you, I don't like having feelings, tell me you actually don't have feelings with me, because I feel weird about this. And it's a pretty good romance, all things considered. It's actually one of my favorites in the series. So it goes into interesting places, just so you guys know.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you
Ask
something.
away.
Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais.
I need to get his
Who knows
approval
where
up.
they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Okay. Did I just ask him there?
Here in Ferelden,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
So what happens now that there's just two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone.
I'm sure they'll send someone. It's a blight, for God's sakes.
But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
So do we start rebuilding at some point?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens.
Sounds boring and lame.
I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be two of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
Alright, what if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
Alright.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow.
So yeah, Ferelden requires us to be around in order for us to save the day. We could still save the world if we left this country, but this country would be effed.
Ask away.
And it'd be harder to do, obviously. Can you teach others to be Templars?
I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal
What a
Templar
bitch.
secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
Alright, I respect your word.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Eh, don't worry about it. I hate you so much. Do I have any gifts for you? I don't think I do. Oh, I think he likes this. I think he likes the white runestone. I think that's his jam right now. Let's check. Is that your jam? Are you jamming right now, man? Are you some type of man who jams down by the river? Let's find out.
What do you need?
Whoops, I wasn't supposed to ask you like that. Ooh, 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 other way. Okay. Here we go.
I could get used to this, you know.
He's so cute. Hey, monitor Constitution. We might have gotten a new dialogue check.
Something on your mind? Of course.
No? Oh, here we go. We did get some new stuff. Or maybe this was after the Grey Warden stuff. Okay, let's see. We did all this already. If you were raised in the Chantry, like since, you know, it's, you know, like a kind of a temple chastity thing, have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
Come on, you know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
Now you're making fun of me.
Make fun of my comrade in arms? Perish the thought. Well, you tell me. Have you ever licked a lamppost in winter?
I've licked a lamppost in winter. If we're talking about the sex, then yes. Because Morgan's right over there, and she can tell you I did.
Just the once? And you didn't lose half of your tongue in the process? I'm impressed.
This is a weird topic to bring up if you're not romantically interested in him.
Pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it.
This is really weird to bring up, actually, now that I think about it.
You know.
Oh, don't be weird about it. No opportunity?
Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They raised me to be a gentleman. That's not so bad, is it?
We're just being mean to him now. This makes more sense if we're romancing him as a girl because he's heterosexual. But if we're trying to like get to know him better and like get on, like, you know, take a ride, but like Jesus, like no, it's fine, dude.
I've no urge to rush into anything. We may not even survive what is to come after.
All right, this is weird.
Enough. I don't want to talk about this.
All right, I'm done with this too. Actually, there is really no approval, barely any approval to be gained that way.
Your mind.
All right, let's spend one more dialogue with Alistair. What changes after the joining?
Other than becoming a Grey Warden?
I mean, you've been one longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
He wouldn't tell you?
Well, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
So it was a joke?
More like an initiation. They all went through it too. Oh, and then there were the nightmares.
Fun.
Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
Yeah, I've had some nightmares. I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
Whoa, wait, what? Time has come, and so have I.
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live. Give or take. The taint.
I like how he just says it. He's just like, give or take.
Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
That's actually not 100% true. It is functionally true. Your body can't handle the taint in your system for very long. So most wardens live to about 30 years of their life before the taint starts to consume them and the nightmares become too real, and they start like hearing what they call as the call. He might say it, the calling, where you get the darkspawn voice in your head basically that tells you to go deep and find the other darkspawn. So most wardens, as he'll explain right now,
you'll always find darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. And there you have it.
Yeah, so basically most wardens, instead of going crazy from the nightmares and the voices in their head, they decide to go down to the deepest dungeons of the underground and say, I'm just going to kill as many as I can until they kill me. Which is pretty cool, if a little effed up. But theoretically, as we learn through later lore, the taint in your body could actually sustain you for quite a while. You are effectively immortal, because Darkspawn are immortal. The taint keeps them alive, but they're monsters. So it would theoretically do the same to any human, elf, or dwarf that gets the taint inside them for that long. I never wondered that. I guess I understand.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar.
Oh, so he was gonna die anyways.
I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
Hey. He's a good guy. We're gonna remember him. And you can remember everyone else, because I didn't know the other ones.
I know. Ending the Blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
Maybe. +4, I hate you. So useless.
Something on your mind?
Anything else here that's useful? Oh, yeah, all right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going for Alistair until we end the episode.
I didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
No, I'd like to hear them.
There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
It sounds like you guys had a lot of fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly...
Until my dead father figure. He really, like every other conversation, you can hear he's holding it back. It's really interesting. It really affects him really deeply. I'm sorry, dude. I know this is still hard for you. And you can be really mean about this.
Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
You have your memories, dude.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Hey, +2, that's almost nothing, really, when you think about it. Almost nothing. Alright, let's who we gonna talk to? Zevran, we barely talked to you. How's it going, man?
Here I am.
Can you answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Tell me about Antiva, where you're from.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden.
I always think it's like Italy.
Antiva, it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom.
But maybe that's because he's an assassin and I keep thinking about Assassin's Creed. You don't want to go back?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city.
Oh, so it's desert area.
Do you come from someplace comparable?
Hey, my mom was better than any gem. No, I'm not from a glittering gem, no.
No? That is too bad. If you were, then surely you would spend as much time boasting about it as I do. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Is that a euphemism?
It may as well be, but not this once, no.
Euphemism means like sexual innuendo.
For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates.
Damn,
I was
dude.
accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home for a long time.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
No. I asked you about Antiva, not your fetish, dude. Hey, you could have it. Don't kink shame. Let him have his fetish. Hey, your home's still back there, Zevran. I'm not stopping you from going.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not.
Hey, everyone makes mistakes. You need to make the most of where you are.
Quite right you are. I see the Grey Wardens do not recruit fools. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more about it.
Yeah.
It makes me wish
This place sucks.
hungry for a proper meal.
This country sucks. It sucks. Alright. But someone likes leather. I wonder who could it be? Who likes leather on the team? Who could it be? I don't know. Maybe we'll never find out. Let's look up his skirt. Oh, let's not. That was close. No one wanted that. Anyways, we should go to... I think we've talked to everyone at least once this episode, probably. That's good. Good for us. Except Win. Hey. Hi, Win. Bye, Win. Alright, let's go to Redcliffe. No, Flemeth. I've been wasting all this time. Flemeth. Let's go. Alright.